Gods of Chaos, the history of a pseudo-religion in Warhammer. In the sprawling, grim-dark cosmos of Warhammer, the Chaos gods Khurn, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh are presented as ultimate forces of corruption and temptation, each embodying a singular, grotesque aspect of sentient desire. They are positioned as omnipotent beings whose influence seeps into the mortal world, twisting individuals into instruments of their will. Yet, when one steps back and scrutinizes them without the romanticized fanfare of epic battles and corruption fantasies, the picture becomes almost comically bleak. These entities are not divine paragons of power or wisdom but absurdly myopic caricatures of human obsession, fundamentally unattractive to anyone with even a shred of self-preservation instinct. Khurn, the god of endless bloodshed. Khurn, the god of war, blood, and murder, exemplifies this problem most starkly. He is a deity who apparently values nothing beyond the spilling of blood and the glory of combat. There is no subtlety, no strategy, no nuance, merely endless slaughter for its own sake. Any mortal who chooses to venerate Khurn is not signing up for some grand heroic saga but for a life dominated by mindless rage and a constant craving for violence. In essence, Khurn's worship is a straight path to physical exhaustion, social isolation, and existential futility. The god is indifferent to honor, victory, or even survival beyond the immediacy of the fight. The follower exists only as a tool for feeding Khurn's unending thirst. Would anyone truly want a deity who treats your life as nothing more than a means to an endless bloodbath? The answer is obvious: no. Tzeentch, the maze of manipulation. Tzeentch, the so-called changer of ways, fares no better under sober scrutiny. Marketed as the god of ambition, manipulation, and sorcery, Tzeentch's gifts come with a bitter catch. His schemes are labyrinthine, incomprehensible, and ultimately selfing. Mortals drawn to him are often promised power or knowledge, only to discover that the rules of his game are unknowable, mutable, and merciless. In practical terms, devotion to Tzeentch is a contractual agreement with existential frustration. Every step forward is contingent on navigating a maze designed to trap the unwary, and every victory carries the hidden seed of failure. The mortal is never a participant in their own destiny, they are a pawn whose efforts serve the amusement of a god who views lives as nothing more than chess pieces in a universe of shifting rules. That is hardly an appealing relationship. Nurgle, immortality through decay. Nurgle, the Plague Father, presents yet another grotesque irony. Touted as the patron of resilience and life through decay, Nurgle's blessings are literally pestilence and disease. The faithful are promised immortality through corruption, but it is a form of immortality that is ugly, painful, and socially alienating. Imagine a life where every breath carries contagion, every touch spreads rot, and every moment of existence is a negotiation with physical degradation. This is not comfort, nor companionship, it is a relentless, nauseating surrender to entropy. Nurgle may be framed as a kindly figure in Warhammer lore, but the reality is that he offers only a slow, inevitable decay with the occasional wink of false reassurance. Devotion to him is the romanticization of suffering. Slaanesh, the trap of excess. Finally, Slaanesh, the god of excess, pleasure, and decadence, is a cautionary tale in self-indulgence run amok. The allure of Slaanesh's hedonistic promises of ultimate sensation, ecstasy, and gratification, but the costs are total obsession, moral corrosion, and an unending hunger that can never be sated. A follower is doomed to live a life dictated entirely by craving, where every moment of pleasure is tainted by the dread of inadequacy or boredom. Slaanesh is the archetypal narcissist god, seductive, superficially appealing, and ultimately destructive, leaving the mortal a hollow caricature of desire with nothing to show for it but exhaustion and despair. The futility of worship. Taken together, the Chaos Gods represent an ironic tragedy. They are framed as irresistible forces of nature, yet their very natures make them fundamentally unattractive as patrons. Each embodies a singular obsession, utterly lacking in empathy, foresight, or genuine engagement with the needs of mortals. To follow any of them is to surrender autonomy, reason, and comfort for illusions of power, pleasure, or resilience that are inherently self-defeating. Their appeal exists only in the warped imagination of a setting that glorifies chaos as spectacle. In reality, no sane being would consent to such a Faustian bargain. The Chaos Gods are not aspirational, they are a master class in existential warning, an almost laughably clear illustration of why devotion to forces that thrive on human misery is, at its core, an exercise in folly. Conclusion: a warning in the mirror. In short, worshipping the Chaos Gods is not rebellion or empowerment, it is abject self-destruction dressed as grandeur. They are grotesque mirrors reflecting the worst extremes of desire, showing in stark relief that the pursuit of singular obsessions, blood, change, decay, or pleasure is a guarantee of misery rather than transcendence. In the theater of Warhammer, they are terrifying; in the reality of ethical, rational consideration, they are absurdly unattractive, utterly unworthy of veneration, and, frankly, the last beings anyone in their right mind would choose to serve.